I am Ferdinand Marcos, and I am the President of the Republic of the Philippines. I stand today on behalf of 110 million Filipinos.
Hi everyone, hello universe, it's me again. Shout out sa inyo mga kababayan. But anyway, mayroon tayong upload videos tungkol dito po sa yung nuclear power plant. Kung natatandaan nyo, di ba may pinirman ang Pangulo, yung parang Safety Act. So ibig sabihin, pag sinabi yung Safety Act, kasama na po dyan yung nuclear power plant. May pinirmahan po siya ng batas hindi ko lang ma-identify kung kailan yun. Basta yun na yun. I-research nyo mga kababayan. But anyway, sabi dito mga besa, ang magandang balita ito. If ever ito mangyari, nako po, for sure, maraming a-agree naman talaga. Sabi dito mga kababayan, ipinakita ng BMI report na may malinaw na direksyon at time frame na ang Pilipinas tungo sa pagpapatupad ng nuclear energy program. Isang hakbang sa layunin na tugunan ang tumataas ng pangangailangan sa kuryente habang isinusulong ang malinis at matatag na enerhiya para sa pag-unlad ng ekonomiya. Reports. BMI reports, Pilipinas nangunguna sa paghahanda para sa nuclear energy sa ASEAN. Well. Ako, kung ito po ay para sa ikagaganda ng bansang Pilipinas at sa pagpababa ng bayaran sa kuryente, why not? Diba? Kasi alam din naman po natin mga kababayan, hindi ka naman po pwede magpatayo ng isang nuclear power plant pag hindi dumaan ito sa tamang pagsusuri. Alam po natin, tayo po ay naiiwanan sa ere. Mayroon nga tayo ng BNP pero hindi naman inoperate. Kasi nga sabi ni Cory Aquino, ayan niya po maalala ang dating Pangulo. Pero sa kabilang banda, dapat hindi ganoon ang pag-iisip ng isang pinuno. Bakit? Kung iisipin mo naman, real talk po tayo, yun po ay pera ng taong bayan from the taxes. Bakit dinadamay niya ang mamamayang Pilipino? Kung galit siya sa dating Apulacay, di doon lang siya galit. Huwag niya indamay ang mamayang Pilipino. Kung nabuksan itong nuclear power plant sa Bataan, di malamang malaki ang ginhawa ng mamayang Pilipino. Gumandap ang buhay natin. Ang mahal kaya sa ang mahal ng ang bayaran sa kuryente. Sa totoo lang, bill mo every month, naku po, talaga naman. Libo-libo mga besa. Nangunguna ang Pilipinas dahil sa malinaw nitong mga polisiya, regulasyon at institusyonal na kapasidad upang iligtas at responsible nitong maipatupad ang programa. You see, sa Pilipinas naman talaga, mga kababayan, sa totoo lang, kung ang mga Pilipino nagkaisa, 'di ba? Malamang tayo po'y aasenso talaga. Totoo 'yun. Kung nabuksan lang yung BNP, nako, 100% talaga naman. Ewan ko lang, baka ilang peso lang ang binayaran natin sa kuryente. Sayang ang laking nahinayang, hindi binuksan. So, dahil dito mga bes, alam niyo naman po, si Pangulong Marcos Jr., diyan din po ang gusto niyang mangyari. Pero, sabi nila, maraming nagko-komento, kung magpapatayo kayong nuclear power plant, wag dito sa namin, sa lugar namin. Ganyan, di ba? Minsan ang mga ibang Pilipino may daga sa dibdib na tatakot, 'di ba? Kaya sabi nga natin, hindi naman po basta-bastang ipapatupad 'yan kung delikado. 'Di ba? Siyempre dumaan po sa pagsusuri yung mga scientists kasama na diyan. Correct me if I'm wrong. 'Di ba? Sabi ng iba nga ay wag dito sa lugar namin. Ito, may lugar dito mga kababayan na natitipukan. So ibig sabihin, ang Pilipinas ay handa na. Dahil nga sa magandang polisiya, yung regulasyon natin, institusyonal, isang kapasidad, kayang-kaya natin magpatayo ng isang nuclear power plant. Kung yung mga magnanakaw nga sa flood control bilyon-bilyon, yan pa kaya? Sus, di ba mga bes? Kayang-kaya. Kaya yung mga ninakaw ng mga sarot sa lipunan na pera, na bilyon-bilyon, ipunin nyo. Papatayo natin ng nuclear power plant mga bes. Kayang-kaya yan. Sus. Kahit 20 billion yan or 50 billion, kayang-kaya. Ilan ang ninakaw nila, ilang kontraktor yan. Nakatakdang makukulong. Sus, nako po. So, mayroong lugar dito. Ito yung lugar. Ayan ang sabi dito. Sinabi dito, basahin ko lang sa inyo mga kababayan. Ang daming nag-react kaya. Ayan Sabi diyan mga kababayan, Labrador in Pangasinan A, potential site for the Philippines' first modern nuclear power plant. Agoy! Sa mga taga Pangasinan, daming nag-react. Huwag daw doon sa kanila. Well, anyway, yan pa naman, hindi pa naman official ano yan. Yan ang lugar. Pero, hindi natin alam. Baka may lugar na talagang pagpapatayuan yan, mga kababayan. Pero, yan ang sinabi dito. Sabi dyan, sabi dyan, Labrador site for Philippines' first modern nuclear power plant. Ako, baka dyan na nga talaga ilalagay, The town of Labrador and Pangasinan is candidate site. Kandidato pa lang Kayo naman, hindi pa nga official candidates pa lang. Malay natin, baka manalo yan. Hindi natin na alam kung sino manalo o matalo. Parang candidate ng Miss Universe ito, yan, host for sabi dito, the town of Labrador, Pangasinan is candidate site to host the Philippines' first modern nuclear power plant, creating a pathway for its economic development as well as an alternative to renewable as a fossil fuels. According to the Pangasinan 2nd District Representative Mark Cuangco, nuclear power will enable Labrador townspeople to pay as low as 5% kilowatts. Woohoo! Wow! Hour. And in the future, get it for free. Access to the nuclear power will translate to lower household bills, reduce farm and business cost, and stronger foundation for local industries. Ay nako, yayaman kayo yan. Kasi mga kababayan, remember, ang mga kuryente natin every month, sus, libo-libo po yan. Totoo yun. Libo-libo talaga. Pero kung matipid ka, isang electric pan na lang ang gagamitin mo para hindi ko umabot ng libo. Pero pag may washing machine ka, rep, kailangan mo magbayad. Ganun kamahal, no? The benefits to the town and its residents could be transformative, Cuangco said in a town hall meeting with the Labrador residents and leaders on October 4. He said that Labrador's strategic location along Lingayen Gulf and the openness of its people make the town a strong candidate for nuclear development. Gosh. Ako, basta ikaganda sa ekonomiya ng bansa, makakatulong sa mamayang Pilipinong, gora ako dyan. Agree ako dyan. Ika nga. Diba? Candidates ang Labrador Pangasinan, So, I think malayo naman yan sa kabahayan, kung doon ipapatayo. Sabi dito mga kababayan, the assembly also marked two the other events. First is the Stand Up for Nuclear celebration, which is held in 32 countries worldwide and signifies Philippines' 7th participation in the campaign this year. Second is the deeper discussion of the new Philippines Atomic Energy Regulation Authority, PhilAtome Law or Republic Act 12305, which Cuangco authored and took 20 years to pass. Ang tagal naman pala yan, sir. Ngayon, 20 years bago na passing. Baka yung anti-safety, no? Yung pinirma ng Pangulo, yung kaya yun. Hindi ko na-research mga best, basta yun na yun. The Department of, research nyo na lang, no? The Department of Energy says that a PhilAtome law provides the country with the necessary legal and institutional foundation to guide the development of nuclear energy infrastructure with the oversight for the highest standard of the safety and security. Yun naman pala sabi din natin, di ba? Hindi naman po basta-basta magpapatayo yan kung delikado. Siyempre, susuriin niya ng mga scientifico. Kayo naman, so, ibig yung PhilAtome law pala, naipasa na. So, ibig sabihin, batas na. Maganda yan, sir. Si Second District Second District Correspondent Cuangco pala ang author niyan, If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Si Congressman na Second District Cuangco is pinsan ba ni Secretary DND DND Secretary Gibo? I think kapatid, no? Ewan ko lang kung tama ako o mali. Okay? But anyway, tuloy. Sabi po rito mga kababayan, Labrador Mayor Noel Ozon looks forward to the bounty that nuclear power will bring because it's aligned with our vision of rising our local economy, improving infrastructure, and uplifting the lives of our people. Tama nga naman mga kababayan. Ako, magtiwala lang tayo po sa Panginoon kasi ang iba dito may dagaang dibdib. Ayaw din nila baka sumabog daw. Yung mga ganung kaduming utak. 'Di ba? Ano yan? Itatayo mo na lang walang pagsusuri. Of course, mayroong pagsusuri. Hindi naman pwedeng itayuin na walang pagsusuri. Kayo naman, oo. Huwag ganun. Ang Panginoon, trust lang tayo kay Lord. Ang safety natin ay sa Panginoon. Gagabayin tayo ni Lord, hindi mangyayari yung mga iniisip nyong masama. Di ba? Speakers in the event point out, while Labrador is an ideal site for a nuclear power plant, Lingayen Gulf Act as a natural coolant, ayan ang dahilan, coolant for the waste heat such a plant would generate and provides an alternative source of water to sustain power plant operation. Mountain surroundings the town form a shield against tsunamis. Oh, yun naman pala. Bakit nga ba sa Labrador, Pangasinan? Ayan na nga eh. Ayan o, di ba? As natural coolant for the waste heat such a plant would generate and provides alternative source of water to sustain power plant operation. Di ba dapat gilid niya puro tubig? Di ba? Alternative source of water to sustain. Ayan para mapalagaan ang power plant operation. Mountain surrounding the town for shield against the tsunamis. Ang pinakamaganda, mga kababayan, maganda yan kasi if ever na may tsunami, hindi po magkakaroon ng problema ang ating nuclear power plant kasi napapalibutan po ng bundok. Yun ang magiging barrier o hinders ng tsunami if ever mayroon. Kasi yun ang harang itong mga malalaking bundok. 'Di ba? Correct me if I'm wrong. Ay nako, maganda yan. So I think for me, baka ang Pangasinan Labrador ang mananalo. 'Di ba? Philippines Nuclear Research Institute, ayan. Director Carlo Arcila discussed seismic safety consideration for the siting of the nuclear power plant in Labrador. According to Arcila, the town is approximately 91.1 kilometers northeast of the Pinatubo volcano, which is over the required 50 kilometer distance to the nearest potential active volcano. He said that the seismic hazard such as a ground shaking and liquefaction can be mitigated by the conforming with the provisions of the National Buildings of Structural Code, rigorous engineering and robust safety protocols, he said, will allow the proposed plan to operate safely. Diba mga beswa? Kailangan talagang malayo sa mga active volcano. Kasi if ever nagkakaroon ng lindol, siyempre, magkakaroon ng epekto yan. Pero napakalayo naman, diba? 91.1 kilometers. So, ibig sabihin, malayo. Hindi siya magkakaroon po ng hindi siya madadali kung magkaroon po ng pagkilos ang active volcano. Malayo eh. Kasi ang sabi po dito kasi 50 kilometer distance. Ang required kasi 50. So, ito sobra-sobra naman talaga, 'di ba? So, maganda 'yan. Well, I think malalaman natin ang totoong magiging result sa pagdating ng panahon. Pag yan na aprobado na. Nako! Pag itong nuclear power plant itatayo, alam nyo na guys kung saan galing ng pundo. Alam na this. According to Alpas Pinas, Conveyor Gaili Certeza, the story of Labrador is unique in the nuclear world. You see, maganda pala mga beswa. It is a town who decided to have a nuclear energy because it wants a bright future for its people. She said, Alpas Pinas is a non-governmental organization advocating the nuclear energy and the organizer of the Stand Up for Nuclear celebration in the country. Nako, pag ito nanalo ang Pangasinan ay sigurado dyan. Labrador Tsaka mahabang usapin ito sa Senado o kaya sa Kongreso. Correct me if I'm wrong. In 2022, local leaders encouraged the township people write letters to the government to express their desire to host a nuclear power plant and be part of the country's nuclear power journey. 66% of registered voters sent in letter in the support of the construction of nuclear power plant in their town in exchange for free electricity and the promise of economic growth. Wow! You see mga beswa. 66% agree sila. Aba, maganda yan mga bes. Boto sila mga bes. Kasi kung sa kanilang sa lugar nila ipapatayo, aba, libre. Gagandang buhay nila mga kababayan. No, 'di ba? Siyempre, economic growth, maraming maaring magandang mangyayari kung doon sa lugar nila. Aba, free electricity kamo, de wow, sosyalin. Sana all ka na lang, 'di ba? Pero ako naman, mga kababayan, very confident ako kasi sabi ko nga, 'di ba? Dadaan po 'yan sa pagsusuri. Hindi po basta-basta 'yan. So, I think safety naman tayo diyan, no? Tiwala lang po, samahan po natin ng dasal. Labrador Municipal Councilor Judith Aquino authored sa Gunayang Bayan Resolution 048-2022 which invited the national government or any nuclear power entity to locate a nuclear power plant within Labrador. Oh my goodness, parang alam na natin kung saan ipapatayo, mga kababayan. What do you think, people? Well, daming agree, ano? Oh, 'di ba? In the nuclear power arena, Certeza said the Philippines is lagging behind. The Bataan nuclear power plant started construction in 1976 but never opened. She compared the Philippines with the Japan and South Korea, which started construction of their first nuclear power plant at almost that same time in 1970s. Today, Japan has 33 nuclear power plants and South Korea has 26. Oh my goodness. Kaya naman pala, lumago ang ekonomiya nyo, nakakainggit. Grabe, ang dami guys. Oh. Japan 36 nuclear power plant, South Korea 26. Oh my god. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, ang 1976 nuclear plant ng Pilipinas, which is ang BNP, yan po yung mga kasabay, may kasabay po sa South Korea. Hanggang ngayon po, buhay na buhay at umaandar. Samantalang sa atin, parang Snow White, matagal na natulog, hindi inoperate. Kasi, napolitika po yan. Dahil sa politika, ayan, pinatulog ni Cory Aquino. Oh, di ba? Pero dapat hindi ganun. Kung may puso ka at mahal mo ang mamayang Pilipino, hindi mo dapat dinamay. Yan po, real talk para sa akin. According to Certeza, there are 440 nuclear reactors in 31 countries around the world. Their number will increase in the next 5 years. Presently, there are 17 nuclear reactors under the construction and 110 being planned. Bangladesh will open a nuclear power plant by 2026. Ay, wow, social. Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore plan nuclear generation by 2030, 2031, and 2050 respectively. Wow, galing naman. So, I think sa atin, no, abangan po natin, mga kababayan, ang magiging resulta nito before the president, mag-end ang kanyang termino. Sigurado po yan. At tuloy-tuloy na po ang I think, pag yan po ay aprobado na magpapatayo na tayo ng nuclear power plant natin sa Pangasinan, if ever yan naman mapili, ang cost niyan napakalaki, billion po. And for sure yan, hanggang matapos, naka-fix na po ang budget niyan. Hindi dapat tayo mapag-iwanan muli, sabi ni Certeza said. Yes, dapat ganyan, confident, malakas ang fighting spirit dapat ang mga Pilipino. Oh, 'di ba? Walang daga sa dibdib. Ay nako, kayo talaga. Kaya naghihirap tayo eh. May daga sa dibdib nyo kasi ganito, kay ganun pag mayroong power plant. Tipong ganun. Bakit ganyan kayo? Hindi naman na basta-basta magpatayo kung hindi mo susuriin ng mabuti yan. Siyempre, ang mag-ooperate yan. Alangan naman Pilipino na maggawa niyan. Hindi. Mga ibang bansa, kasama na yung mga scientists, for sure yan. Yung mga eksperto, natural. Hindi po, baka naman, sasabihin nyo, baka ghost project na naman. No. Hindi po mangyayari po yan. Walang mga walang mga contractors na Pilipino ang involved dyan, for sure. Diba, mga bes? Banyaga, syempre, South Korea nandyan. Diba, mga European, or saan pa. Sabi dito, the Philanthropy law will ensure that every component of nuclear energy infrastructure, including site selection, construction, licensing, safety measures, and long-term operation is truthfully and effectively overseen by an independent and qualified regulatory authority. Ayan, Kuwangko told the town hall audience that the law will guarantee both safety and economic growth. Philamtom is the foundation that will give Filipinos cheap electricity and the chance to compete globally. Nuclear energy is not an option, he said. Yes na yes. O, diba? Sayang nga yung BMP eh. Kung nagkataon inopen yun, why, nako. Baka isa na tayo guys na pinakamayaman na bansa sa buong kapuluan ng Asia. Ngayon pa lang second fastest growth economy po tayo Pag magaling ang pinuno na namumuno sa palasyo. Ibig sabihin, ang presidente tulad ni PBBM, ganon ang resulta. Kung palpak, pulpul yung politiko na namuno, wala nga. Bagsak ekonomiya, walang kwenta. So, dahil dyan mga kababayan, panoorin nyo po itong sinabi ni mayroon ditong pag-aaral tungkol sa nuclear power plant. Sabi dito mga kababayan ito, panoorin nyo. Sabi po ng ABS-CBN 4 hours ago, today's 22 at 25 ng October 2025, muling nabuhay ang usapin sa nuclear power plant ng pirmahan ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. ang Philippine Nuclear Energy Safety Act. Yan ang sinasabi ko, ito nga diba? Dahil dito muling sumintro ang diskusyon sa planta ng Bataan na kailanman ay hindi napagana simula ng ito 4 na dekada na nakalipas. Yan at ang iba pang kaugnay na mag-isyu ng tinutukan ni Jeff Canoy ang dokumentong Mothball, the Bataan Nuclear Power Plant 40 years after. And goes. Tingnan nyo guys, ito, tingnan nyo. Sayang po ang ating nuclear power plant. Kung naibuksan sana, sayang talaga. May classmate yan, yung sa sinabi ko sa Korea. Hanggang ngayon umaandar sa kanila. 'Di ba? Umandar yung mga nuclear power plant nila, 26 nuclear power plant. 'Di ba? Ang dami. Bakit maayos naman? Hindi naman sumabog. Depende na po 'yun. Kung mayroong magpapasabog. Ayan kinakalawang na mga bes. Kawawa naman. Sayang. Laking perang ginastos diyan Sayang Ay, kawawang Pilipino. Nabudol ni Cory. Ito, para kumpleto detalyado, panoorin nyo to.
Around 30 countries have expressed interest or are planning or starting nuclear power programs. That includes the Philippines.
I believe that it is time also to re-examine our strategy towards building nuclear power plants in the Philippines.
Woohoo! Sa suna niya yan, sinabi niya.
We must build new power plants.
What?
We must take advantage of all the best technology that is now available, especially in the areas of renewable energy.
Data from the Energy Department show that the Philippines is mostly powered by coal, with other sources being natural gases and what we call renewables, like solar, wind, and hydro. London-based energy think tank Ember says the Philippines is the most coal-dependent country in Southeast Asia, and its reliance has surged in 2023, overtaking China, Indonesia, and Poland. In September 2024, the Philippines introduced its nuclear energy roadmap at the IAEA headquarters. The plan is to have commercially operational nuclear power plants by 2032, with a target of 4,800 megawatts produced by 2050.
Wow.
Philippines is cooperating openly with the IAEA. You hosted integrated nuclear infrastructure review mission recently. So moving step by step through the process and cooperating openly and transparently. All of our member states cooperate transparently in this area.
The Philippine government told the IAEA that it is working on establishing an independent nuclear regulatory authority which will oversee the program.
Is that a challenge for member states, especially for a region that has no history of?
Yeah, of course. Nuclear for people is sometimes a scary thing. It's an emotional topic. You need to inform the public about why you're developing nuclear power. You need to inform the public about that you're doing it in a safe and secure manner, that you're ensuring that the institutions are in place in order to have the right oversight and regulations. So it's really that's the role of the member state, is to kind of communicate openly and transparently with the general public.
In September 2025, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed Republic Act number 12305, or the Philippine National Nuclear Energy Safety Act. It's a landmark law that creates the Philippines Atomic Energy Regulatory Authority, or PhilATOM, tasked to ensure peaceful, safe, and secure uses of nuclear energy and radiation sources. Nuclear is more than power generation. The IAEA outlined other uses of atomic technology for peaceful means, like for cancer research or preventing another global pandemic, and even to address plastic pollution, where the Philippines serves as one of the pilot countries for new technology in recycling plastics or reducing harmful chemicals in production.
This is not just research. All of them are moving towards the real world. So out of 9 our pilot country, 4 of them have reached TRL, for technology readiness level, which indicates their maturity of the technology. And they have worked with their industrial partner and produced the product in industrial setting. And now they are validating their technology, their product in a real life setup. They are building a prototype, like Philippines, they are building a house to validate the technology in the real environment.
The IAEA itself has 12 laboratories that engage in nuclear science and its applications, some of which can be found here in Cyberstorf. Labs like this one, where atomic technology is studied to sterilize insect pest populations, like ones that bring dengue or malaria. Or this one, where research is being done to support food safety by tracking down counterfeit food products. Or this lab, where plant breeding research is done to strengthen crop varieties against disease, drought, and other harsh conditions brought about by climate change.
Many member states, and when we have people from member states, they don't realize that nuclear is in every every daily activities, Cancer therapy, the eradication things around sterile insects and these types of things. So you have to inform them that nuclear can provide benefits, both in terms of energy, but also other terms. But of course, with that there's obviously always risk, and you need to have good strategies to mitigate those risks.
And it's those risks that are on people's minds, especially for countries that are considering nuclear power. Safety remains a concern for communities at the forefront. And that brings us back to Bataan. The white elephant, the sleeping giant, and the monster of Morong. The Bataan nuclear power plant has been called many names by locals. But what it can't be called is useful. Mothballed for close to 40 years, the power plant's future remains in question.
Ito yung kabuuan ng ating planta. Nahahati po yan sa dalawang parte, yung NSSS system or Nuclear Steam Supply System at saka yung balance of plant.
Wilfredo Torres serves as our tour guide in the facility. And if anyone knows the plant inside and out, from then till now, it would be him. He's worked in the plant since the 1980s.
Lahat po ng mga equipment na makikita natin dito is normally makikita natin siya doon sa mga conventional power plants.
Construction on the facility began in 1976 as a response by then-President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. to the 1973 oil crisis, a pioneering effort in the region along with Japan and South Korea. Marcos Sr. commissioned U.S. company Westinghouse for 2 pressurized water reactors. But even back then, protests hounded the project. It didn't help that in 1979, a radioactive leak in the 3 Mile Island nuclear reactor in Pennsylvania in the United States triggered inquiries into the safety of the Bataan nuclear plant.
Noong panahon na yon, napakarami talaga po ng kontra dito sa pagpapatayo ng nuclear power plant. Kasi ang naaalala nila yung kung paano unang ginamit yung nuclear technology, yung paggawa ng bomba. Kaya naaalala ko, during the construction period, marami na rin mga aktivista na nagsasagawa ng mga protesta nung ito ay ginagawa. Ang mga alaala ko rito noong ako ay nagtatrabaho dito, yung kung gaano ka-stricto ginagawa yung trabaho dito sa nuclear power plant. Napaka-stricto ng mga quality control dito pagdating dun sa mga trabaho na ginagawa namin.
By 1985, the first reactor was complete and ready to be loaded with nuclear fuel.
I'll stick the tanks and the artillery on them.
But at a time of great political unrest, as Marcos Sr.'s regime was at its tail end, the plant was never commissioned.
And then, all is the history na. So, yun po, hindi na natuloy yun. So, ngayon, siguro, tanong nyo, in my personal opinion, gaya ng natanong nyo kanina, nakapanghinayang talaga yung ginastos ng gobyerno rito, about $1 billion, $2 billion plus dollars.
Following a transition of political power, the project was then riddled by allegations of corruption. In 1986, another nuclear accident that shook the world. This time in Chernobyl, in the then Soviet Union, which led to the deaths of 30 people and spewed a radioactive fallout. Plans to load fuel into the BNPP were put on hold indefinitely by then newly elected President Corazon Aquino. In the decades since, there have been many attempts to revisit and revive the nuclear power plant.
The role of the National Power Corporation, based on Executive Order number 55 during the time of President Aquino and the time of President Marcos in Executive Order number 98, as the caretaker of the Bataan Nuclear Power Plant because of its mothballing. And then the Department of Energy is the policy maker of the mothballed power plant.
But efforts paving the way for the plant's comeback always seem to end up in a roadblock. Whether it's the plant's own messy history, our government red tape, or one that is completely beyond the hands of proponents of the revival. Like the 2011 Fukushima disaster that revived the public's fear of the dangers of nuclear energy.
Nasira ang Fukushima Daiichi Nuclear Power Plant.
In November 2022, the Energy Department said it would cost around $2.3 billion to refurbish and restart the BNPP.
So, kumbinsido kayo, sir, na kaya pang nangyari dito? Sa akin lang, in my personal, kaya yan. If there's a will, there's a way. Lagi po tayong natandaan na pag lahat ng bagay ay kayang gawin.
Panghihinayang po. Maski po hanggang sa ngayon, dahil hindi nga siya natuloy, ganun pa rin yung aking nararamdaman, yung panghihinayang. Kasi imagine kung natuloy itong nuclear power plant, yung dami ng investor na supposedly na pumasok dito sa Pilipinas, and yung murang kuryente, and then naiisip ko rin na yung mga tao, imbis na magkasakit, dahil doon sa pollution na binibigay ng mga coal-fired power plant, itong nuclear power plant, hindi sakit yung ibibigay sa kanila. And aside from that, yung stability sana ng presyo ng kuryente. Sa ngayon, nararanasan natin, linggo lang ang lumipas, tumataas yung presyo ng kuryente, hindi po ba?
Back in Austria, we met one of the members of the IAEA who took a look at the Bataan nuclear power plant during a site visit to the Philippines. He compared Bataan to Zwentendorf.
I mean, fact-wise, there's only a 3-people team maintaining the entire plant. So, I mean, they did their best.
Yeah.
But, yeah, due to the limited human resource, it can be improved. And, yeah, the facility, it's, let's say, not being maintained in a way that be able to come back to operation.
Is it like stepping in a time machine or time capsule? Because it's...
No, I mean, technology-wise, it's not that old. I mean, it's even newer than this. The Westinghouse design, Westinghouse is still in the game, compared to Siemens, for example.
Yeah.
So, but it's just the PT.
This one's very well maintained, right?
Yeah, this one's very well maintained, yes. You can see the cleanliness, the housekeeping is great.
Ultimately, it all goes back to safety. But for those in the community and who are opposed to the revival, the BNPP shouldn't have been built in the first place.
Nung 1970s, nung tinatayo yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant, yung dahilan din doon ay tungkol sa crisis. Kaya parang deja vu. Ito ba yun ulit? Dumagdag lang ang taon. Tapos 40 years na, biruin mo, parang ang sasakyan ba, hindi ba nagde-depreciate yun? Diba? Diba lahat naman ng bagay nagkakaroon ng depreciation, tapos ngayon mo pa aanda rin. E di mas lalong delikado, diba?
The net zero emission is also in question for those who are against the revival.
Sinasabing zero emission, dun lang yun sa emission, sa pagpuproduce na napaka-limited ng supply ng uranium. Tapos transport, hanggang sa hauling, hanggang sa lahat ng yun ay may carbon footprint. Na-externalize nyo kasi yung ni-externalize nila yung usapin ng life cycle. Di ka naman makakapag-produce ng nuclear energy nang walang gatong. Diba? Ano yung gatong? Yun yung uranium fuel.
In 2025, Greenpeace Philippines also commemorated the 40th anniversary of protests against the Bataan nuclear power plant. The organization also called for policymakers to remember the lessons of the past and to reject the reintroduction of nuclear power in the country.
Nako, sabihin na nating may trust issue kami pero sa kasamaang palad, totoo yun Kasi biruin mo, usapin ng traffic, usapin ng disaster, ang hirap nating i-manage. Kahit lagi-lagi tayong dinadalaw ng disaster, lagi pa rin may namamatay, lagi pa rin malaki ang damage. Paano pa tong nuclear disaster? Sino yung magmamanage nun? Saan? Paano? Diba? Marami kaming tanong na hindi yun nasa-satisfy kahit kailan siguro. At saka yung usapin ng radioactive waste, no? Sabi nila, ililibing. Saan nila ililibing? No? Paano yung aming source ng water? Marami. Kaya ang hirap payagan.
And it's these questions that the government needs to answer with the creation of the new regulatory agency.
Magtatayo ng independent nuclear regulatory kasi ang issue po dito sa PNRI ay gumagawa kami ng research, nagpo-promote kami pero nagre-regulate kami, dapat inihiwalay po yun. So yung batas na ihiwalay. No? Kung sakaling buhayin yan, may gagawin mo ng feasibility study pero ang lisensya po ng papapaandar niyan ay manggagaling sa PNRI o doon sa PhilAtong pag yun ay yung nagawa. No? Pero ang mangyayari, mag-ooperate niyan, titingnan ulit. Kasi matagal na siyang ginagamit, di ba? So titingnan ng regulator kung pwede pa bang patakbi ng maayos, ng safe. Yun po yung duty noong regulator para lang siguraduhin ng papatakbo ng nuclear plant ay safe para sa mga tao. Doon sa research side, kaya ang opinion ko doon ay magandang buksan yan. Bakit? Kasi po nung tinayo yung Bataan Nuclear Plant noong 1980s, 4 po yan na planta. It's a water-based PWR, okay? Pressurized water reactor. Gawa po yan ni Westinghouse. Ang 4 na plantang tinayo noong 1980s ay isa nasa Slovenia, isa nasa South Korea, isa nasa Brazil at saka sa Pilipinas. Exact model po yan, magkakapatid yan. Tumatakbo pa hanggang ngayon, 40 anyos na. Pero bago papaandarin yan, dapat safe muna. Pero dapat yung paandarin, sa palagay ko dapat. Kung safe siya. Kung hindi safe, huwag paandarin. Pero kung safe naman, bakit hindi? Binayaran na natin
The energy crisis is current, but the answer remains seemingly stranded in the past. Those pushing for nuclear power are saying it's power for the people, with the Bataan nuclear power plant symbolizing a dream that should ultimately be realized. Those who are against, meanwhile, say the so-called monster should remain in slumber and should not be awakened. It's been 40 years. And while the debate continues on as the country searches for answers, the plant remains as it is, mothballed, at least for the time being.
Yun mga bes, ano po ang kapalagayan nyo? Well, kung yan naman ay hindi na pwedeng i-operate kasi 40 years old plus na, di wag na i-operate, di ba? So, focus na lang tayo sa bagong ipapatayo. If ever mangyari man yun. Yun lang ang problema mga bes, sayang talaga. Malaking hinayang, as in, malaking nawawala sa Pilipino. Kaya kung may kasalanan, kung sinong may kasalanan dito, walang iba kundi ang dating administrasyon ni Cory. Para sa akin lang kasi hindi niya inoperate nagsasayang lang ng pera. Magkano daw yung nabanggit? $2 billion equivalent to Philippine money. Naku po, Mario Joseph Santa Clara Marimar. So, ayan mga kababayan, ang aking pinaka-latest updates, no, ang komento nyo. Abangan po natin ang mga susunod ng hakbang ng Marcos administration. If ever na matuloy ang pagpapatayo, yan po ay legacy ng Pangulong Marcos Jr. kasi ang cost niyan, ang pera niyan ay nakafix na hanggang sa matapos. Thank you guys for watching. See you again on my next upload. Bye 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 and babush. God bless.